Good morning and welcome to Coastal Morning on WestCoast TV. Today is the 25th of July 2025 in the year of our Lord time check. It's exactly 30 minutes after 10 in the studios of the Great Wheel. That's where we are streaming to the rest of the world. Here in Agona, Ahanta. We are live on Facebook and also live on YouTube. Just comment, like, and share. And then, you know, I know my name various school say, but it was our day. Can you share a fond memory of your days when you were in school and middle two? That's our day. What were some of the fond memories? You know, you can go to our Facebook page, West Coast TV, and you know, share some of this thoughts with us. How was the feeling like, you know, during your times? You know, during our time, we had a part where we sing, where the area our car on social, where the area our car on social. What time me? Kedisa. Why? Area uday. But Barcelona can be repeatedly in what team? Let's share on West Coast TV this morning on Coastal Morning. See it in Kobo. And from there we will move on to, you know, our motivational speech this morning. Right after, then we'll sit down with Mr. Bentum to discuss, you know, the newspaper. We'll look at the Coastal Review this morning, and the big story was the review of, you know, the 2025 budget by the Finance Minister, KCL Ato Forson. My highlight was some of the roads, you know, which are still in progress, and the good thing about it is, let Tonkode echo asma by Ghana, you know, the roads are being done by, you know, initiated and engineered by the government of Ghana. I let it understand that there will be a dualization of Cape Coast to Takrady. That was my highlight. You know, I was very, very happy when I heard that. Let Tonkonedi Eko was here by one year and the Ghana government by 1 year. Mr. Kodo Choi has been appointed as an ambassador to South Korea. Kodo Choi was all at Tiedumaya. You could have a feel. Let's share your thought. The chieftaincy, you know, forum was called off by the municipal chief executive due to unforeseen circumstances. These are some things that were coming in, and when you delve deeper, you look at one of, you know, the former secretary of NPP, who is in the person of Kwesi Asobenyabua. Okay, he had example. Anke hane mo yeah. Anke run about in Ezreme wonmwe. A very gargantuan statue of the Great Wheel should be mounted, and I side with them on that. How about you? My name is Benjamin Kobiatha. At the latter end of the show, we'll be joined by Nana Nja Toku the fourth, Odikro of Damti, and also the Jassy heading for the Himaswa division, and then a great spiritual leader who is from the who is a leader of the African traditional religion in the Western region. We'll be having him on set to discuss, you know, pertinent and spiritual issues on set. Today we'll be delving deeper, and as time goes on, we'll have him one-on-one to speak on issues. My name is Benjamin Kobiatha. Aqua friend Kobi Mighty. We are back after this commercial break. welcome back to Coastal Morning on West Coast TV. In that one, me a wo modern na ye wo no more quick. Na ye do ye ho fella ye die a motivational speech. In there, motivational speech ye ba fefi ahantafo ohoma. It's eduenu enum ne inchichem oye awoche. Moraka a mistake repeated more than once is a decision. A mistake repeated more than twice is a habit. A mistake repeated more than 3 times is a character. Betty, mistake more attire. If I more than once, Nikeke, I wajuneke, ozola kaya. Nasa ayeme itozuro anwe more than twice Nikeke no ozo idi usubane neti wakakra. No I de be wa varo mo. Nasa ayema ebu mbomi asan Nikeke ede die mo ataye de bela ekra ho. Awya ede unisu ibe. It's your character. Let's say I know you working na aduo ye manda. No wa vabale. No we ashu for once. Awya Barcelona ali say oh I feel me ndapala mi o ndapala mi yo beti de coupe beti baba ba shame ya be show working. The next one ne show ike be ye ke yosu meti kra na yaki but you are ni keke no ajinsem kra the 10th time on ya won ni aida mara kwa ke bunia na ke bunia sha keke no e di unisu apala mare meti ni keke mo your great grandfather's trait is in you as an African polygamous man. You have a trait of King Solomon. Then mommy say a bad habit here krana yaki ne abaye a trait ade awuroso a okay yaki o ne ya we ya misizo a etima na ba senda woni kakra wonu ma every year ma ba ni Enrique nde ya does live mamzema Victoria Kachimo e watakwa mamzema ebu pa Vicky yeah, Miss Mo, a rebel cry alive. Ya Joanna, my anaje. Mas a rebel cry. It's a name I deal, Pakimusuma. See a clue, adia. Ya Mala, Cavro more team of big cry and the one, including the market woman. I'm hoping you've been to me, can I ever allow cry to Yabocos. You want to me a Aboka?
Kobe, Yamna Domela, Yadan one.
Debila
kobo. Ya mwana mena izike debila ko hoya
Oh, for sure.
Njekela you go azro.
Yeah, mbiza ke what are some of your fondest memories? More our day.
Yeah, our day, our time, it was a great deal.
Sure.
But wafa bi kwa say we here Alabo school. Some of us were not having it much.
Sure.
But we had friends more Dabla, but for case labor, so who were more or less parasite. I'm here there, and the sad thing is that Elima Eke Boka mine will buy it from the market.
Okay.
And see, you get a Okwense King Uchu market about Saka. Wale tolo de no krombi ebe danzoro at least me I can decorate aliye ma konke aliye me the usually more edia
fantastic
enya nzambe those days fanta no kibe fawura pa no ke izalani but yakode ya ske bi mo onke baba onke yes me
full package.
Yes, be shada be ye baba ma ba nti. Bobo so ya me see lulu aba more you pay setting the no.
No, during your time did you had that where the AVA account?
Yes, we did. And I miss the site maintenance and Yenima Kozro with Ali Lile Moani at the back of our mind where years at the end of the feast. there's always going to be something more. Would either put the mood in a good way and in a bad way. And ye di muani na ye crack account social will come.
Okay.
But God grace ye dear we able to place well and see I can manage that the problem.
Those times in the weekend it was so fun. I think you can also share your thought on Facebook on West Coast TV so that we can have a feel of how yours went. I think this one is coming from Samuel Kojobre. He says, DJ Ozu and I will usually go to school with sumptuous meals from Bale Busumafi. Once I was fifth in my class and my auntie gave me X for my performance. Ben wanted some, but I didn't give him. I'm sure he's forgotten. LOL. Ben, is any upper vehicle from who and Kojobre, but Alenia Biakeli. Gideon Arthur is watching us live. Zala Kojobre is say, "But to me, near you, and Kojo, and women, it been to his uncle. It been to his uncle one time, baby, mamma dear, 1,000 time more class 3. Yeah, Millie first or class, yeah. That was my first time of topping my class, and my brother Patrick was one time in a training college or Peki. That time no my our best stipends yeah but package it very nice so my package my dollar carbon biscuits no box no alaka no na fali our day lo call school carbon biscuits can cook but no sake with taria yeah cromvia massa
I think it was a morale booster then. It did more okay. I can't exam sport la waju ne so akra eyedia you will be rewarded and see also they be wale growing up
so since then I was part of the 1 to 5
yes.
But when I was coming they did the cry fight lanko Nana Abuache, what are you people discussing so that we can share ideas to Nana Abuache, the big story you hear it from here today, but for me they are discussing Nana Pay share some of your fondest memories on our day more our day what the area account so we are going to be your husband low rate because
yeah ko binti na wane yezema ye mulma mo be kraye mu a wo Ghana mani no na min mo but outside the country na ya ha akede West Coast TV bekla ehye ne like ne comment na debela ameso ye hora ye nuali enkomo na wane ye hira newspapers headlines na yabagra ye minimum cry ne development. Now let's start from the Daily Statesman. So the first newspaper that we are starting with today is the Daily Statesman. So on the front page of the Daily Statesman has the big story. Now it has a banner that says "Stop the Violence," being heard by the minority caucus in Parliament, and the story says minority petitions Mahama over electoral violence, Galamsey menace. And see, yesterday when the finance minister was in Parliament to read the mid-year budget review, the minority walked out. So they left. Then to demonstrate and also petition the President of the Republic. They cannot be part of this budget reading when pertinent issues such as the electoral violence, the recent one that happened at Ablekuma North, as well as Galamsey issues may cause. So the minority were absent when the minister was in Parliament. So that is the big story on front page of the Daily Statesman. So
yeah, I'm not the stands as was Dogbe.
Okay.
Yeah, received the petition here. Yeah. I think Julius Debra too was there.
Okay.
But there, I think these politicians they are good friends.
Yes.
I'm not Accra, the posture and the demeanor, and the relationship between Julius Debra and this guy, the minority chief whip. I'm not on pray.
No, but you see, I remember in 2008, then I was in Tasco.
Okay.
So we had a visit to the Parliament House.
Okay.
Then the MP for Hunter West was Samuel Jomfia.
Yeah.
And we were in the gallery. So after proceedings, then we're taken down there to meet our MPs.
Okay.
So for us, we met our MP then, Honorable Samuel Jomfia.
Okay.
So for me, from the Hunter West, so I met him. Then from the school, then was Gifty Kusi for Takon Swayim. So we met Gifty Kusi. Then Gifty Kusi brought in E.T. Mensah. And this were her words, Namkoti. Say, Warusha na I was doing the Yerokon. But before then, on the floor, there were heated arguments. More, say, our Kenya, you might think they were fighting.
They were fighting.
But when we went there, she brought in colleagues more she had banter with on the floor of Parliament.
Wow.
To come and talk to us.
Wow.
And all of them, they said to us, okay, we are the same. And down there, where the MPs meet their people, and you could see the environment. You could see Kebomua. They are betting there. If you more back what went on there.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, we should be careful with these people, especially those of us who sit behind the screens and watch them.
Yeah.
I'm a drinker. They are fighting.
They are fighting. No.
Some of them, they go on radio and television. They have this banter. From there, they go and sit and talk about business.
Yeah, they go and eat, talk about business. They drink their coffee.
So we should understand the politics.
Sure.
But one thing that we should also look at, you see, the MPs. This one goes whether the minority or the majority, especially the minority. So I understand that.
Sure.
First of all, they are there to represent their constituent.
Exactly.
So think about your people.
Sure.
So I voted for you to go and represent me. At the period more, bury the budget. A critical exercise of our economy. As a military, I wouldn't even want to listen, but it's okay. This year MPC, they are supposed to come to the constituency and engage us, account to us by it by say more constituency be more MP Yakobia. I will ask. And the sad thing is that there were students in the gallery more.
They are waiting for their
MPs. So the speaker introduced this student and Sam. Unfortunately, your MPs have worked out.
So that's
No. I'm
seriously did that.
Wait, I'm betting a point. Okay. We need them to be in Parliament. Sure. I'm sure if you want to protest, if you want to demonstrate, you can do it time more ape. But not when more we have a serious business in Parliament. That has to do with your budget.
Okay. Sure.
I understand they will have access to the document. However, for me, I think the kind of politics me be liable.
Where they were hugging themselves.
So
she was just laughing, like happily laughing.
Well, Lady K. It's one of these political games for them to work out. Meanwhile, but still, Kenya, it adds some beauty to our democracy.
Politics needs to be looked into very, very well before you engage.
For me, yesterday, I wasn't happy. And you see, this one, ADMPP, DNDC.
Sure.
Table 10, yeah.
Some of you,
but they also do the same thing. And see, yeah.
But you say.
And see, on page 3 of the Daily Statesman, it says, GRA staff unhappy with the finance minister into the front page of the Daily Statesman. You heard the Chronicle, and the big story on the front page of the Chronicle has the picture of engineer Kwabena J. Japan, and it says the making of engineer Kwabena J. Japan. That is on the front page of the Chronicle. Minority petitions Mahama over escalating electoral violence, and he has captured by the Daily Statesman. Is also the front page of the Chronicle. Quickly, your whole the Ghanaian Times.
Okay.
The Ghanaian Times has a picture of the finance minister, Kingsley Ato Forsen, with a beautiful bag, and I think this bag here. From former finance minister.
The black.
The black. And I'm sure.
So this is gradually becoming the exchequer.
Exactly. You just raise it to the cameras. To tell us that yes, everything is in. The destiny of the economy of the country is in here. So the Ghanaian Times has this story, and it is a big one on the front page of the Ghanaian Times. It has the picture of the finance minister. It says mid-year budget review, economy on right path to growth. Finance minister. Page 12 of the Ghanaian Times has the story. Also, like the left corner of the Ghanaian Times, it says minority walks out in protest. And page 13 has the full story. And I love the story. In page 30, it says government prioritizes 24 infrastructure projects. And see, this one was captured in the budget review as read by the finance minister. And see, is also kind of the front page of the Ghanaian Times here. And see, you hear the Daily Gist. And the Daily Gist also has a picture of the finance minister. He said government dodges COVID-19 levy, blames economic woes on Akufo-Addo. And you can have the full story on page 13.
COVID-19 levy by
yeah, so we're looking at details on how the removal of the COVID-19, but the budget was silent on there. But the issue here is that the minister blamed the economic woes Waganaki on the former president of the republic, Akufo-Addo, and Timeso Iwoke. The minority drags Galamsey electoral violence to Mahama diplomatic missions, and it has a picture of a cross section of a minority presenting to Julius Debra Meso Iwo on the front page of the Daily Gist. You heard the Daily Analyst. It says mid-year budget review, government declares war on ghost names. Over 53,000 illegal workers found on payroll. The payroll audit recently, government workers on the payroll were asked to provide certain documents by the auditors. And according to the minister, he said about 53,000 ghost names were found on the payroll.
What has happened to the national service scheme issue, which you made so much noise about it that Gifty is going to jail?
Yeah, but you see, I'm sure
what has happened to
the process. So
let's not look on the yelling Gifty.
So sometimes the politics around some of these issues. You know the politics around some of these issues, and see. But let's see. I'm sure the OSP has taken that matter. And the Yoko and the AG are also there.
OSP?
We are looking at them. We are looking at them.
Again?
We are looking at them. We are looking at them. Right. And if you listen to the Minister of Finance, you could see over the period there has been a lot of mismanagement as well as corruption and some leakages. And chief among Yenimo leaks money from the economy is corruption. And for me, whether it is the NPP or the NDC, whoever is found culpable, the law must work. And sometimes you're doing so let's see what happens on Gifty issue. So the big story here is that 53,000 illegal workers found on the payroll. If they are taken out, it will be a big relief to Ayane. One of the component of another area more the and it take your budget more has to do with wages and salaries. If your ghost names say reduce wage bill, and it's going to help us to get money for other areas. So government saves NIB on page 3 and 4 of the Daily Analyst, inject 2.45 billion Ghana cedis to restore confidence in banking sector. And the minister said this, and he was saying the NIB was left in a distress, and it was insolvent at then when they took over, and they had to inject this money to save an indigenous Ghanaian bank. By doing that, the minister says they've saved about 900 direct jobs. And for this, it's a good news. Unlike the previous one, when the minister was saying, unlike the previous one where the banking sector cleanup was meant to collapse banks, and government spent.
But you could see certain banks were cushioned. Government
spent money not to recapitalize the banks, but rather spent money to collapse the bank. But some of these banks were also supported, so that they can regain their strength. However, they couldn't.
Sure.
Sometimes the politics around some of these conversations. CD appreciate 42.6 against the dollar amid strong policy measures. That is about the big question that people also asking is that what measures as this, or what policy direction had contributed to the stabilization of the city. And today is a big question that the minister always seeks to deal with it for the public. What the Daily Post, the Daily Post also has the same similar. It says Sidino Peke. Finance Minister declares amid strong currency gains. Page 4 has the story, and then indeed Sidino Apeke and Mpeke yana. Yeah, Sidino
Apeke or Bank of Ghana, but Sidino
Mpeke you bottom and
Mpeke were grounds.
Yeah, so today we'll look at inflation.
Yes.
And where they took it and where we've gotten to. We'll look at what is really happening. Because government is telling us that, or we now know that the inflation is around 13.7. But what is happening? I think the real inflation is measured in our pockets.
Sure. And we'll look at the reality on the ground. You see, the Bank of Ghana's statement and what really happens on grounds.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Dollar from Bank of Ghana's end.
And the dollar in the black market.
Yeah, it's 10 point something. Yeah. But when you go to the bank for $1, you are not getting a dollar.
Yes, so sometimes very difficult to even get.
You are not getting even.
But again, I think we need to put in policies and measures. But you see, you can't go to, in the other jurisdictions, you can't just walk in and say you want to buy
$1. I want to buy $1 from Abochi.
Yes, or without proper documentation, without telling us where you want to use or what. Yes, so these are some of these things that we need to look at.
Sure.
And we also need to stop this leakages where the dollar hits the bank and gets to Abochi.
Oh, brother.
That is a major thing that we need to, a major problem we need to.
Abochi is the control of our foreign currency.
Exactly, we need to work on.
Sure.
See, on the front page of the Daily Post, it says you will not default at forcing assures bondholders as 20 billion DDEP payment plan unfolds, and this is beautiful as part of the domestic debt restructuring program by the government. Now, as part of the sinking fund, this government is creating a dollar sinking fund as well as a CD sinking fund for domestic and the external debt repayment, respectively. So we have so much to pay. We have close to 20 billion to pay.
Sure.
20 billion Ghana cedis to pay. We have 50 billion to pay in 2027, and we have 45.8 billion to pay in 2028.
Okay.
So there's the need for us to build buffers. We need to populate that account so that when we get there, we will not feel the shock.
So do you think building buffers will help us, pay this debt?
Yes. No, but because of the debt restructuring, we have the only thing we've done now, we have just deferred payment.
Sure. So as a result of economic crisis,
yes,
which hits
yes,
the whole world.
Yes.
So coming out from the crisis, what happened to the economics that we were interested in school? The Keynesian model, the this model, the this model, you know, the big push is there. That's the government stimulus package, you know, to enable companies to stand on its feet, you know, more infrastructure, pumping money.
So I really love the one the NPP brought in living taxation to production. That, you see, every country's major source of revenue has been through taxation.
Sure.
However, it's the time that we need to work on production so that we are able to help the private sector contribute much to our GDP.
Sure.
So if we are producing more, we are turning our raw materials into finished and semi-finished goods.
Yeah.
It will rake in more money.
Okay.
For me, I'm happy to see that even the Bank of Ghana is now getting in more dollars, such that our international cash reserve has now increased to over 11 point something billion dollars. So the Bank of Ghana has them. They have them.
Okay.
So we need to deliberately look at industrialization. And it was a brilliant idea when we had a one district, one factory. A policy that I think should have been continued. However, is the kind of politics that we do. Even if the government want to rename it, I don't have any problem. However, but I think we should be deliberate.
Sure, and look at it. Sure.
So when this government started with Nkoko Nketenkete, I also, wow, this is brilliant. The Nkoko Nketenkete doesn't necessarily mean that you have one or two in your home. It had a bigger plan.
Yeah, a major poultry.
Exactly.
Production on its own.
So you can imagine, you just quantify the poultry that we bring in. Look at the import.
Sure.
If we are doing this in Nkoko Nketenkete, bringing in the 24-hour economy,
yes.
In fact, we need to be deliberate. From government upon government, we need to be deliberate. We need a roadmap that will guide us.
Yeah, we need a development plan.
And that has been the problem always.
That the nation should, you know, should chart that path. Either a change of government or no change of government. It should be law, which should be in our constitution. I think now that the NDC is having to tell in Parliament, there should be a deliberate effort to make sure that the development plan, you know, should have a leeway that we can all, you know, follow, even when there is a change of government. This is my, you know, my submission.
Let's go to the daily searchlight. Since Baumia can be president of the world, Oseche Mensah Bonsu claims he has a picture of the former vice president of the republic and the former leader of the majority caucus then in parliament, Oseche Mensah Bonsu. That is the big story on the front page of the daily searchlight. Kobe. Let's go to the insight, and the insight says 14,000 ghost workers caught. So it has a picture of the finance minister here. Here. Now there's a story says Nalai, no shortage of aviation fuel. Energy Ministry MP assures public. I say it was rumored. The aviation fuel is anti. Passengers are stranded
at the airport.
At the airport, but it has been heavily debunked by the energy minister. Okay. There's nothing of that sort. Aviation fuel bill and the is short. It's also okay. Ghana will win the Galamsey fight. Lance minister vows. It's also the front page of.
I like his zeal. You know, his enthusiasm.
The land minister?
Yeah, yeah. But I think his words are not, you know, aligning from the time when he was a ranking member, when he was in opposition, the time he spoke about, there should be a state of emergency should be declared as soon as possible. There should be a state of emergency.
So compare it to the time that he's been made a substantive minister.
I think his words are, a bit softer now.
Yeah, but he has also come out to say that the fight is not easy. The fight isn't just a sprint. It's a marathon.
It's a marathon, yeah.
So I'm sure sometimes when the reality dawns on you try to appreciate
and
how
accept
how things are.
Sure.
And for me, we should not throw words into the air when we are in opposition.
I love the speech. We should not throw words when we are in opposition.
Yeah, just throw words into the air.
I think
when we are in opposition.
There should
you understand?
This quote should come from you. So our technical man, if you are watching and listening, from Sebentum say we should not throw words when we are in opposition.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because if you're not careful when
reality dawns.
Yeah, when reality dawns on you. You will now appreciate that, hey, they were not as I thought they were. They were. So
I love that. So we should not throw words when we are in opposition by saying true.
Kobe, let's go to the daily graphic.
Okay.
And the front page of the daily graphic has the big story. And it says, media budget review, government ditches foreign currency, city takes over in contract. And so the minister now says that now, you see, the government is the biggest spender.
Oh yeah.
In the economy.
Sure.
And now, all government contract will be priced in the Ghana city, not the foreign currency. But you see, in as much as we believe that the government is the biggest spender and the government has taken this lead, there should be some sort of directive so that the individuals or private people can also follow suit. Because people are here and they now sell their properties or price them in dollars. So we need to deliberately we need to look at some of these things. Yeah, is what they are.
This thing was said way back in 2020, 2022.
Yes, but still, in fact, the forest market it's been difficult for us to control.
Yeah.
So for me, I wasn't surprised when then the vice president said he will arrest the city. Arrest the dollar and could not. And eventually could not.
The dollar escaped.
So it is not easy. There are so many factors more contributed to dollar and city issue. To have more forests, we need to deliberately put in systems and plans. More say so people believe even what is happening. Let's give ourselves some time. And
let's give time some time.
Yeah, we'll face the reality. So we should all help. The sad thing is that the patriotism in more double your kind. It is not in us as Ghanaians. Because if I care a be a dear Tanya, you should be bold enough to report the person. And I care the right thing. So it's you're responsible. It's going to help us protect the economy.
The sense of patriotism is no more.
You see, elsewhere they are not like that too. A bit like the say, "Oh dear my yeah, it will go a long way and affect me."
Sure.
Because if you're throwing deer into the gutter, maybe more underground that, but then he be sako kambasua. Also problem more. Gutter ni sakra bank affect what can it. And because of that, it be more like they watch the economy.
Sure.
But I'm here, dear man. It has always been who watches the watchman. Exactly. So that has been your problem. Okay. Kobe, the case is the informer, say minority raises alarm over Galamsey. It's sad that when we were talking about the economy yesterday, the minority was talking about Galamsey.
And it's related. Part of the economy.
Yes. Oh, where we have gotten to, Galamsey, you can't take it out of the economy. What I mean is that on the floor of Parliament, there was a different business altogether. A business that me personally, I wanted the minority to be there, but unfortunately, the minority. What's it now? Why you were banned? I say, Minister assures of winning Galamsey fight on the page 2 of the informer. Then government addresses challenges of technical universities. Has the picture of the Honorable Haruna Idrisu, the Minister of Education. Kobe.
Okay, I think page 4 has Mahama urged to tread cautiously on CJ's removal.
Oh yeah. I mean the former CJ has taken the case to ECOWAS court. Yes, and she's also seeking for some sort of compensation as well. And see, we should look at all these things. In as much as we want the law to work, we should also seek. We don't put the country in the corner where we will come and we will be paying money more. That could have been used for money.
Okay. All right. Been to me, but another story here says a businessman called Mr. Kojo Choi appointed Ghana's ambassador designate to Republic of South Korea. Now, Kojo Choi is you know, the man looks Asian.
Yes.
The man looks Caucasian.
Yesterday, I read from somewhere. I don't know about that. And the guy was saying, in a Kojo Choi about whole school. Whole school and
Kojo Choi the Ghanaian.
The Ghanaian. But the Kojo should even tell you the Ghanaian. So someone was asking, then whose interest? Yeah, eco champion there. but this beautiful. It tells Ghana.
Okay, well,
the foreign minister.
No, the former pro-vice chancellor of TTU. Maybe do much game, but do a lot more. So, former NDC parliamentary candidate.
Oh,
Dr. Emmanuel Okumiando.
Yeah, Dr. Emmanuel Okumiando.
So is Kojo Choi is a businessman and he's been appointed as Ghana's ambassador designate to the Republic of South Korea.
Yeah, many be like okay, so
whose interest is in
Kojo tells you he's a Ghanaian.
Okay.
And Choi also tells you where he's coming from. So so the big question is that whose interest is he going to champion? But he's the ambassador in the name of Ghana.
I'm sad. I'm not a happy man to see some of these things happening. I'm not a racist, though, but anybody Dr. Emmanuel Okumiando, okay, could have been given, such portfolio to man, and they say a businessman, Baba Frey, Kojo Choi, the Kabila Ma want to miss him up, Kojo Emizid Kapma over there, oh, my Mwakode. All right, be a bit to me as say, but Mama Ba, we'll be looking at some of the highlights in yesterday's budget review, the Big Push program. When we talk about Big Push, what does it mean? It's an economic model. I think in 1930 there was a great recession. The world came together to look for ways and means to revive the economy. 2007, 2008, there was another recession when most of the big banks in America channeled their investment into mortgage housing, which crashed the world's economy. And 2020, there was another, recession, which COVID brought on us to the larger extent, Russian and Ukraine war. Big Push has been one of the major tools to revive economies. All the reason why seeing the government as the big spender of the economy needs to deliberately put in stimulus packages to revive the economy. May have been to me working. See page 99, the Big Push program, right, Honorable Speaker? As part of the Big Push program, we've also selected the following abandoned road projects for which no dedicated fund was allocated by the previous administration: rehabilitation and upgrading of Kaswa Winneba Road, rehabilitation of Ofanko and Sawem Road, that is dual carriage, dualization of Takrade Aguna Junction Road. Ah, you don't know what the talk with the honey, dear was okay. The construction of the Swami interchange. I love this when, you know, has been too rightly said. We should not, you know, throw words when we are in opposition. The road is not an ECOWAS road. Boom. Wow. Construction of national route. Anything wa Hamlet routes, the hand routes there. See a cremo okay. We'll give us some of the highlights of the budget review. Then we will zoom in, and after that, Nananja Toku will join us later in the day. Elani Amusima, go and look for organic food. Kwakabe aliyebede FVV rice, na D na sebo, FVV chicken. Organic imuanzuro ye fe dem kana mani ahole our day avasaka hole after our day ni what next? No questions we are asking. Let us in some of the fun memories during your time. Yalani ahoye ba see to azo. WestCoast TV. And then pay ye didn't come over her. You know, question maybe and another no ya our day baby waha. On chair, been too better from ye didn't come on ya share the major highlights of the budget, but you're not tensing in about Western region, baby. I will not hunt West. You know, now come on here from painful binum. The Pana big push will be taken care of now. Some of our routes are packed. This one is coming from Prince Kwame Isaac. He says, well, I only experienced the Ezewe account social in class 1. After all, that was a vibe in Kukunte and Abenkwine Arena. Ejata has more experience there regardless. It was a song that really fascinated me. Kukunte and Abenkwine Arena, no, upon Western Foundation, Kona Numwa, Hona, Kendene, Orekano, say basket. This is a basket or kind the container bank one there. And Esko Kujo is asking, please, where exactly is the studio located? I'm paying for technical man what the location was about, but I call Agona a hunter ADB so now and a studio no. Then Ejata came to respond. With, you know, LOL and a laughing emoji. Vincent Godson Ade GH also cry say, it's a power kenny. West Coast TV, Coastal Morning program, and I was you another the Winya Good Erection. I think you can share some of the fondest memory with us quickly. I'm going to be into more now. You think come on, share or another budget review now. I think I'm been too the economics tutor and the perspective of the classroom. Now, I think I'm been too.
Yeah, Kobe. Yeah, was it okay?
Really come. You budget review and you have some of the highlight, but let's limit ourselves to that of the Western region.
Okay. So
and to a larger extent, you know, to Hunter West.
So Kobe Almane, the Minister of Finance was in Parliament to read the media budget review, and our care Abaranua or Boebelane, you need a budget.
Sure.
And basically it talks about your expected revenue or expected expenditure. Sure. How much you want to.
Some cartoons you can hear because messages say buy, okay, I have to read them as and when it comes. This one is coming from Samuel Kojo Braze. He said, but once a mate brought fufu to our day, it was such a day, guys. Ow! You guys have brought back memories to my mind, pa. Ha 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 ha. Them the get Christabel Mesa day will be
Auntie, it's an avenue for the minister and for Arane to evaluate its expected revenue and expenditure. You want to look at the performance of your revenue and your expenditure over the period. And this time around, we are talking about the first half of the year. Then also whether you want to revise your budget because of certain economic conditions, certain shocks, and these conditions, your inflation, your currency, and as well as other revenue shortfalls, you also want to look at them. And see, the minister was there, and my general view on the whole budget, for me, I think the budget tells us that there is hope.
Okay.
There's hope because if you look at certain key indicators, the budget or the minister ticked about 90% of the indicators. If you look at the growth in the real GDP, if you look at the inflation rate, if you look at the interest payment, then you look at budget deficit for this period, you look at the exchange rate as well. You look at the primary balance. These are the anymore for me. I think the minister and if you go into the budget, my minister by you could see significantly there has been growth and there has been some sort of growth. These macroeconomic indicators more you use to judge the growth of every economy. And for me, it is a plus, and we need to commend the minister, the ministry as a whole. You see, the positive that I picked from budgeting was that there was strong fiscal health and shrinking deficit. You could also see that we had a very good inflation decline, or inflation it declined more. Okay, it's a sign of a good economy. Then the currency stabilization, as well as an improved reserve. And this one is very important to us. And in all, what it does is that this one it renews investor confidence and tell people more about diaspora. Okay, hey, Ghana is now a safe place to do business, so calm down. And for me, the fit more we have gotten to, there's the need for us to continue. And this one, the minister needs to put in your need. But clear, the overall fiscal deficit on commitment basis was 0.5% of GDP. Now, when the minister read first budget, the minister was targeting 1.8%. So it means that if you take away interest payment, or an payment on bonds and other debts, we look at the relationship between your revenue and your expenditure domestically. Contract more design and payment okay make aside interest payment we're able to do to the extent the deficit that we're looking at, like 1.8% of GDP, now we're able to make 0.7% of GDP. You see, the argument may be making like this government hasn't spent much, and indeed it is true. Okay, if you look at the expenditure for government in the first half has done just 40%. So it means that going forward, the next half of the year, the 60% will be done. So it means that it's clear, we're looking at a revenue generation as well as grant of 225 billion Ghana cedis. Now, out of this, Ghana, we're going to spend close to 291 billion. So we have spent just 40% of that amount in the first half of the year, whilst we have 60% to spend. And you all also agree with many members say Arane is not spending much. And if you're not, if government is spending, it has a whole lot of implications on the economy. And for me, I'm not surprised. If you look at the fiscal deficit on commitment basis for the first half year, we are doing well because the target of 1.8%, we're able to we made 0.7% of GDP, and within the baba, because you see, anytime we have high deficit, it causes there's an increase in debt because you need to borrow to service or to augment your revenue. Then again, it affects CD depreciation, as well as inflation. But what they have done, it's good. From we started the inflation of 23.8%. As of today, what is the current inflation? We have an inflation of 13.7%. Now the government projected 11.9% at the end of the year. We are in July, and we are now talking of 13.7%. So for me, if we're able to keep up the momentum and be fiscal discipline in the management of the economy, I will not be surprised. Okay, at the end of the year, we can even enter single-digit inflation. But a big question has also always been, okay, we were 23.8%. Now we are in 13.7%. But in reality, if you go to the market, because the ordinary Ghanaian measures the inflation based on price of commodities in the market.
This question, you see, you're talking about 23.8%
to 13.7%.
13.7%. But the first quarter's budget, was made by the previous government. So could it be as a result of the previous government's, foundation laid for this year? That is what's accounting for what we are seeing today. Because what exactly has this government done that we've gotten here?
Yes. You see, that has been a big question. A lot of people tend to ask this government. Okay, we've not seen any policy that has been rolled out that has a direct effect on the economy.
Because the 24-hour economy hasn't started.
But again, you see, being fiscal discipline alone has a great ripple effect on the economy, and that is what this government has done over the period. Reckless borrowing. Reckless spending, and you see, that's I've said that. You see, in the previous government, there were some expenditures where I think they were avoidable.
Like which?
We were here, then we all got to know. Okay, the National Cathedral had some sort of expenditure from government coffers. And what has happened to this cathedral thing? And see, with this government, perhaps you might want to judge. Okay, you've not seen any policy, but I'm telling you, okay, in economics, being fiscal discipline alone has a great ripple effect on the economy.
Would they continue the National Cathedral? Would they do it?
No, that's a big question to the government. But I've heard that they want to use the place for a different thing altogether. And I think that would be a discussion for another day. But Kobe, aside any other policy, but I'm saying, okay, this government, they've been disciplined. And you see, discipline will get us there. Say you create for anything that
the government has been disciplined, still,
No, for the past 6
relying on a private jet for our vice presidents. The government is disciplined.
Yeah, I'm sure they've come out to defend this by saying, okay, what we have is not fit for purpose. And
so, but back then
that is what we are looking. But Kobe, on the issue of the inflation, you see, the ordinary Ghanaian measures the performance of the economy based on a pocket, based on the price of goods
and services
in the market.
Yeah.
Good. We are looking at 13.7%.
Sure.
But the difference now here is that food inflation alone is 16.3% as compared to the non-food inflation.
Okay.
So the food that the food and the other beverages or non-alcoholic drinks is actually the 16.3%. But we see inflation is a weighted thing.
Sure.
So if you look at
something we call CPI.
So if you look at the consumer price index, producer price index, the differences. If you find the average now, we are having the inflation itself, the overall inflation. So you could see, the food inflation is 16.3%.
So
that is where that is where we have the big issue, because non-food inflation alone is just 11.4%. And see, at the end of the day, you see, if you go to the market, you will still find prices of some commodities more brassy.
Sure.
So, mommy, I said, okay, inflation is fine. It's on paper. It makes the books nice.
It makes our books clean.
Your core market here. What is happening? I can hear the big issue is, and see, for me, I was looking up to the minister to put in or come out with interventions. More say you feel the real impact of the decline in the inflation, because it's here. You go out there and you see our system is such that we are operating more or less like a free market.
Yeah.
And see, government control and influence a DJKB.
Perfect competitive market.
You are unable to control prices as you would want to for your citizens. Until now, be like a fire, dear Bella, Nikune, price may be Bella if I am there, if it turns right. And even though inflation is it, but still, we are not getting much out of it. Now, Kobe, one other thing he also talked about has to do the interests that are also declining. Oh yeah. Now if you look at the treasury bill, interest has declined. And it's also come back to the fact the government is not borrowing much from the domestic market.
We've already borrowed.
So that's what I'm saying. That you see, borrowing, you need to borrow. Every government borrows.
Sure.
But you see, you're borrowing. As in, you don't have to be reckless in borrowing. You don't have to borrow.
Reckless in what like
there should be a need. There should be a need. There should be a remember. So
any basis here.
Yes, you see. So as government, you need to prioritize your needs. You need to prioritize your needs. So if I prioritize your needs, you get to know, okay, you need to get this money for this. So if I'm telling you that if you borrowed money and part of this money went into the building of the cathedral, then quote and unquote, you were reckless then.
Really?
Yes. Because this is just an example that I'm citing. But I'm saying, okay, so borrow there, then borrowing should be the more you need, and I can should cater for your need as government.
So we needed electricity then.
But I'm coming.
We needed electricity then. The fuel needs to be at the fuel stations.
Yeah. So, but may I have then never had need. But I'm trying to say, okay, this government has been disciplined in saying that. You see, the interest on treasury bill is coming down, and I'm saying that a major factor has to do with that we are not spending much. We are not spending much because we are not borrowing. Already I've said, okay, just 40% of the expenditure for the year has been done in this first half. It means that the next half we have 60% to do. And that is why I'm saying, okay, if government still is a discipline here, even with the expenditure of 60% of the revenue, still say you cry if you need to honey. And one last thing perhaps become farm has to do with our international reserve.
Okay.
Now you see our international reserve now stands at $11.12 billion. And Kobe, the minister tells us that can cover 4.8 months import.
Okay.
We are doing well. Before they came, we had a reserve of just 8.8 billion.
We are doing well. Talking about import at this time.
Yes. No. Well. I'm talking about the reserve.
Reserve for import.
Yes, reserve. So you see, and this thing has great effect on the CD, the CD and dollar issue because before they came in power, now the minister tells us that the reserve then was 8.8 billion. It was at a point more we were doing good for oil.
Yeah.
But this time, how do you know what they are doing? Now the minister says that because of the gold body, now the Bank of Ghana is now having the gold, getting the gold, and then we are now selling the gold for more dollars to keep as reserve.
The gold for oil was being said.
According to the minister. And according to commentary that I've listened from the minister himself, that when he came, he hasn't chanced on any document that says the gold for oil thing was being done. But meanwhile, according to him, at the blank side of all of us, so they were using cash.
So if there wasn't any document like gold for oil, which one did they cancel?
No, according to the minister, that's what I'm saying.
Which?
That's what I'm saying. According to the minister, that's what he's saying. He never meant any arrangement more that suggests that the previous government was using gold to buy oil as a barter.
Okay.
They were using hard-earned reserves to buy. But my argument has nothing to do with what the previous government did. My argument here is that it therefore tells us, this government is doing something right because this time around they are getting the dollar because of the gold board. We are getting more gold. We are selling the gold. It's raking in more dollars. Then it's increasing our reserves. And for a country like for a country like Ghana, if you are able to get like 5 months international reserves, gross international reserves
Sure.
for import, yeah, you are good.
Sure. That means you can borrow more.
You are good. It will not be a basis to borrow
no.
more.
If your reserves look good, if your reserves, are good, that could be, one of the collaterals.
Oh yeah, exactly. But so like can't care.
No, we can't do without borrowing.
Oh yes. It's crazy the kind of economy that Manibela needs to borrow.
Even the almighty America is doing.
And Kobe, the last thing has to do with exchange rate.
Yeah.
The Ghana has done well, and partly you people have been asking about the policy direction more. It contributed to the appreciation of the city, and this arrangement where the Bank of Ghana sells our good to rake in more reserves.
Sure.
Is one thing that is helping us more. City appreciate it. But going forward, I think, as I earlier indicated, I wanted the minister to also put in measures more. But one measure that came is that this time around, government contract will be priced in the Ghana city. But we need to deal with the black market. City more appreciate it. But the worrying thing has to do with the amount that BOG is quoting and the amount that the black market is quoting. Not even the black market, even the interbank rates. There's some sort of disparity between BOGADA and the interbank rate, as well as the licensed forest breweries. And Tiakania Agane should look at it.
Sure.
You know that government, as part of the debt restructuring, we have debt to pay.
Sure.
And now, interest on debt servicing has come down because CD appreciating, and that's also a good sign. When the CD is appreciating, now if we're supposed to pay like 10,000, now you are paying like 9,000.
For sure.
And that's a good sign. Now the government says that they are burden buffers, and that is very good. We have the sinking fund, and this time around we have the second fund for CD and the second fund for dollar. What they seek to do is that domestically we need to pay as part of the debt restructure. We need to pay people, as well as external we need to pay. So we are burden buffers, keeping this money so that at the end of this year, 2026, 2027, 2028, more debt restructuring we did it, we should be able to pay them. So 2026, we are supposed to pay like 20 billion. In 2027, we'll pay like 50 billion, and we'll have 45 billion to pay in 2028. And these are some of the things more and lastly, Kobe, the continuation of all stored projects. More full according to the minister, they will start. I can hear you draw the conversation around the western region ADA.
Okay. Sure.
16 constituencies here would benefit from some roads.
Okay.
You look at here in Takrady, there's a park grant roundabout. There will be an interchange there. Then the Ajip and the PTC down 1, 2 contractors will come, and we all know already the Agron Kwanta Takrady dualization equals for that work.
But as he the more I'm phone.
Okay.
I am feel like scamper echo as by hand. So for avoidance of doubt and for educational purpose, echo as by hand. So I say it continue also projecting one thing.
So the construction of Takrady Market is on, which has been stopped for some time. Contractors will resume earlier, resume market and So it's a good sign. And according to Minister, some of these infrastructure were captured because of they were near completion. Majority of them they are 75% and above.
60, 70.
And above. And we hospital, the district hospital, Agenda 111. The then government commissioned it, and now
I think we have a conversation on that.
We need to look at it now.
One. Because committing funds into building new chip compounds, and you have some of these Agenda 111 projects.
No, but you see the Agenda 111. These are more or less like a district hospital where can receive referrals.
Sure.
But a Bieda campus a Bieda Duaholozo, you need chip compound for them to administer more or less like a first aid. In more yes, Baba Aganda, but you refer to Bokura Agenda 111 before perhaps we go to Avianda. And the good news is that Avianda expansion projects may cause also I can say
but like is that
many. In fact, I need to scan through, but I didn't hear of the Apimeni road. But this government has 4-year mandate, and but me husband is bushy. Sure. Bushy. There are roads that I'm looking up to. This around that Disco road, we should pray that it is being captured as part of other roads my district. Then we'll move on. Kobe.
Okay, all right. So Ben been to me earlier for the highlight budget review. Been to before about sort of na yenina atwetwe nkomo wa hado. Did among komo na share, some of the trending issues on social media, looking at Kwesi Asubenyaboa, the former secretary for the NPP in Hunter West, was of the view that I said it was two for was the second the statue Akuna Kwanta roundabout. Now Amanfo were also saying that it's true, even if interchange in power if there is a big roundabout or one or said what modern now we see Bedubon so the second what modern now was in statue our honor with him now na there's an anti-heritage month wakodo na wako name our honor. What's your take on that one? Whilst I will fear restrain a little that is a wardrobe chair is a bar equal YouTube and on Zabaka in the mouse on Facebook or Bentu. I bet some from now my wardrobe chair quickly on this one and in Jatuku about 5 Iguana Yachado. Bentu, question so be a boa. There is a bar. Yes.
Me there or a call in the right direction.
Okay.
Kobe. Yeah. We need to honor yen MP for now.
Sure.
And see, today my Eddie can care no. My honorable Kwesi Asubenyaboa akan.
Sure.
Or ya dear Kobe, we need to ye be support.
Okay.
Na wa kodo. Oba ni dema. Obeboa na Hunter ye history. Wa kechi no. You tum ya den.
Okay. All right. So I think yes abakano wa homando na yenye edin komo. Akokoba akromenya mi obecheme. Mesi akokobe akromenya mi obecheme. Akokoba beni nsiwa. Akroma so ntime ncheme da. Good morning, Honorable na Awokoyem.
Yamara kwame gama e wala soro ni aze
okay yalla yamre ase abe we chanced on a post on Facebook make you are championing or you are advocating ke anke ke ya wo modern la na ye bushi da bava tunuvuro Bedubo so the second a statue bava bejina aguna roundabout. What is true about this one, and tell us the reason why we should do this.
Thank you very much. a devil, especially everybody. Now you are asking whether it is true.
Yes.
And then if it is true, why?
Why? Yeah.
Is that not it?
Sure.
Yes, it is true. That's
Okay.
my official Facebook page.
Okay.
So it is true. I wrote it.
Okay.
And then as to why that or what motivated me to make such a statement.
Okay.
You know, my idea like number one, every tribe or every group of people, they have history.
Okay.
Where they are coming from.
Sure.
And the people must know. You understand? The people must know their history.
Sure.
And they attract and you don't know your history. I think in a way it affects your identity.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Knowing your history will actually know who you are and the kind of people you are. Now, look at history. Why? Because all of us know to me the second.
Sure.
The unfortunate thing for us as an hunter or hunter people is that the early historians of this country did not write much. In fact, they didn't even write about the hunters.
Sure.
But we are so much fortunate to know, okay, the Dutch themselves, the Dutch whom, I mean, in the last 200 years ago,
sure,
dominated a hunter kingdom and visited a number of atrocities on us. Fortunately enough, they wrote a lot about us.
Okay.
And from the Dutch history books, a crown in how we were engaged and the kind of if anybody at all can just Google Dutch a hunter war.
Okay.
And it will tell you the kind of things they did to us. And the way to Mumuro Badubo at the second, at the time, stood firm. Some the whole of Africa is likely to be the number one or the first president. The first chief. In a way, a hunter is the kingdom more. It happens to be the first, if not Africa, at least the West Africa sub-region. You know, to have fought against oppressors rule.
Wow.
Look,
okay.
So, Badubo also after fighting like that over almost 200 years ago, almost 200 years ago. Now you're being your history model there. Yeah, when you can start, it remains. Babuba my Yakapula AI Harris at the Salon Military Hospital. We need to do things at least to commemorate some of the things he did. We are people with grief. If we have a statue at Aguna Kwanta runabout there,
sure.
Statue one day, they don't do it for nothing. So that anytime you see, you remember something. It reminds you of something. So if we have tomorrow about the second statue at Aguna Kwanta, what happens? I chose Aguna Kwanta because Aguna Kwanta happens to be the capital of Ahanta West.
Okay.
And if you look at the geographical the historical boundary of Ahanta from Biposo River Pra, right?
Yeah.
Down to Ankubla.
Yeah.
And Bonsa. You see Aguna Kwanta to be the center.
Sure.
Alright, so if we have this statue there, a number of people passing by Aguna Kwanta will see. And as soon as you see the statue, it will remind you of something. You ask, who is this? What statue is this? So as soon as you ask what statue is this, and it occurs to you, you remember, oh look, there was once an Ahanta brave king who fought for us, who stood on his feet against the oppressors rule.
Okay.
Then it reminds you of how bravely as an Ahanta we are. So, Mama Weke, going forward, now, Nyamia Dorema, Amadia the early historians of Ghanaian didn't write about that, but fortunately through the Dutch themselves, we are knowing much about us. And here, a historical event,
okay,
you know, to help with our tribe identity. And that is why I think that we should do that.
Okay.
I don't have the power, I don't have the authority, but the mobile authority. So as a citizen, we don't have to sit aloof as a spectator.
Okay.
You understand? We must express our views, tell them. And these are the channels sometimes the perfect reviews through Facebook and this social media.
Okay.
And I'm sure when the authorities see it, they will also pick it up.
Okay.
Now, I came out, they make away watching. So this is basically the reason, what motivated me to put those things up there.
Okay, all right, fantastic. Betty, I dedicate say if they take this matter up, it can have certain effect on what you've said.
Oh, so you see, I will believe, but I'm so power.
Sure.
Because if you are ruling people. Now people that are traditional authority, set-up worker, whichever government in place, you must also listen to the people.
Yeah.
In any case, if it is not relevant to be mounting statue, and we don't think of doing statue.
Sure.
You understand? There's always a good reason. That is why we mount statue.
Okay.
Oh yeah, a year in memory of something.
Okay.
And not just the statue. I believe that in fact there could be something. Yes, of course, there are about to go secondary school. So at least may a crack. But I believe that there's history and whatever. We should even be advocating for maybe a museum or something.
Okay.
But if you listen, you read a hunter culture. In fact, there are lots. Unfortunately, we are not exposed to those things earlier. But today, by historical and cultural event here, Ahanta has a lot to showcase.
Sure.
So they should even push for a museum or something to in honor of Badubo Nso the second, to Muro Badubo Nso the second. That's a Yane Adomu who push for the remains of the body here. It can be preserved there. This is so rich.
Okay.
It is so rich, and I'm sure if the Asante has gotten this, the way the chiefs and others will push it.
Okay.
But the end and number Bahabuno as well. They also have a voice. In as much as with the youth, the youth and the average age, a hunter and all of us are pushing for it. The number should also come with a strong voice. Together with in the support of the MP and the MC, and all of us push for this. And I'm sure something better will come out of it.
Okay. All right, I will come Medawase and down a pay or insights at your reason behind
program or your hunter another or your forgot me with the American hunter together with before them it is Medasi and all those things.
So the Muako Yaka Blofo Yaka and Yaka Fan.
Let the hunter be about 70%.
Betty Momeno and I bet
your station is and I put the and I'm happy. So thank you very much.
All right, I will go by Medasi and the other pay Yamia was okay. All right, okay. Honorable Kwesi Subinya Boana, excellent Kanoya, former Constituency Secretary for the Ahanta West NPP, and also Osanso Oye NPP patron or Ahanta West. Ebedin komo ha oncha nana inja toku obaba na yatse form na yedin komo ha so menya bo ase yembo na yem push na yen sabaka Oye otumfo bedibon so the second ne honi Mama imagine there say ne statues no you start from Beposo in your crew I was secondly in your crew I was Takra even PTC interchange where na at a vantage point in your crew I go down contemporary I don't think there is a need one fan could see why I pay him roundabout or kakraka so that when you are from Wasa coming the first thing you see when you're from Nzima coming first thing you see there you are entering a hunter Yambwa na yempush. I'm going for a quick commercial break. I'm about. I'm in Inja toku the fourth. Odikro of Damte, the Maraso, no a jazz for him Maswa division. And there, Yabaka Safa, our J. About Kwan, na a hunter for what fodo, what jawar. Now, war no crampono. It's in train the ninja doing it there, the jawar, Inzin common fan waro. Yanda yan ba. All right, we'll come back to Coastal Morning. In an pay, we don't use in Komawa. Nana in Jack Toko the fourth. Or you know, Odiko, the Madam, the Maraso, and Osanso, or Jasahine, the or the Himasua division or a hunter traditional area. And there, you be in Komawa. Na ya share the Konokra hunter for what for the Wajawa. And now, one to that sabe you know me share obi won kwanche na me na keka waje atum ya kwhye baby papa na ya kwanye na ni mana na aware no or stages there are processes involved ya beye aware ewa ha kwana and for wofado wajawa na ayen West Coast TV you know always you know we are blessed and we can boast of we having you know, a great brainer if they biara oba fear oba blessing ama ye na addition okoneni mamonko manana akwaba nana pochoba mo akwaba ma West Coast TV
yo melozo
nana kedia
adomela
okay nana nde yala wasike avindelu mo akemo nde diezima na ela fare anda ya amamre ni ya mambo and then one day you can a jawone. Oh yeah, a jawone is any a demona. A jawone is a demona. Nadia Bakake say Bikake a jawonia a demona.
yo melasi ma bamzemale ma ejirevlo mo bikra na uyuwa nyamle yira bu motin ke benya awonzebe na bikra West Coast TV na UI.
Okay. All right.
Na kobi yamkene ane yidibenya asobenya boa.
Sure.
Ni baka ndani be.
Yeah.
Mefale anda mutin yetumu volo ba dibon so metobo an.
Exactly.
Ampaka mufajiki be ban mwajiki na yaga.
Okay.
Yene discussion ezo.
Mbotobo yo.
Edikama ilimare ikan. Edi 100%.
Okay.
Ke andama yamwazo de beho anda twumwenu.
Sure.
Meti yirima yamke na mabon ho lare ya. Yema ikan zuju kwaya.
Okay.
Because yemwati yakabake yekrane ye. Mele twumuvuro badubonso. The second. First me yamke ashada yatin wu Njoko bebele na momi metozo anwe amzo motin ya dibie ya anwe momi ba ya dibie ho ya zunu ye ba yan so yon ni mo iyere baba bugwa ratazo ni mo ba habie abakwasam amzo motin ya dibie ntim dem ni ke kra ne yere motin ya skole ye mede uro uskwame motin ya
uro skwame
adaka uro is coming.
Okay.
Na kama ekan maso malajike mutu azuro la ke azo statue me de ba ba mu keke ye second ho mani ni cause me kohore kama yanda ikodu vama di kama ekan ba ye statue ekan ni bebre kan joku bebre fa kriye ayi me so kania maso mama mo la ke ye bani tema wo fle ye rezo yi zake anso i body ba horo beziria because that time ne ekre abakwasam ya ne ka awo fle ye bedi yezo a meti ba horo ba mane ne ka ba horo ba beziria meti ma mo amon ke azu ni kna wo ye idi anda nyanya azu ni kna wo ye di anda nyanya awunya at the same time so baham ya dikese ni ikoi suwai sabe bodam vurupu edini beru ake ye documenti am yese de bodam vuru se ko wi to dikaba besie on won punkiria anake nipo ebotokra poni adaka banwen iwuro nka kuma iwuri la na se bi kotozo na bi kania ide ngane a anke iska akana na bokubuto kuma be pia enye ni moti bokko kumenu na ni titiri medize e ka ka yezo na mada ka zo de be kezi ntima msunzuke bakura be di ozo ejimai awon ye ayeme so kani a ame akan ma sabi ebi ekwe isuwa ya ye mrade a ye che kake ye izi ye nke aso ye bani be shade kaka be shade kaka awon ya meti say before more anda ye kodwodwene ne ozo tire ne me dedie pome keka anda amzumo tie fa ya dwene ye kozoa ne ke tire ne ye gama ka ma han mi duazo a se ye bani ba che kaka ka ve kan han wi ke bija anda ma anda ku duvame ba sa that ozo ayi ne ma mo ke sa ye de bebumo e woke e fama ye
okay all right and next nyame adomia next week me see ya yiri
okay
and yiri okay me ti say e bezo a see ya woro no mo na ya woro no mo boa then we will discuss and yiri ne you know case more ya yiri say bani ko
suwa ya
what are some of the things that we do but in them you can sure nana yellow I say for this you know insight more avama nana mamuiza ejawoni is a melam what is marriage bro floka what is marriage is a melam mana
yo baka jawoni a ejawoni jikani ma akoyele
okay
ijinake imma nkabomi aneke kamo yake jinake manyeni bebre sanke me ifa okuru yare baudo ezako soso ifa nkabomi baudo ntiba kan agya hone a iji kema abusuan ni abusuan kama yakohore ya kan yanwo yekuwo no ma okuru yare ka yamadia kaga nti di odomo iso aba ifa baba baudo ye tibi edi enyanware ye tibi edi ya ma yenini bekore bo sanke agya hone ye fa nkabomi ifa yamadia fa ba sintira ke mam mga waudo ngamba barake mene nga ye moja okun mene nga ya pame
nige ke mo de wake de benyane bale
edi akure yare miti makonwe a se bi poye de bowa o se ama magenya mara mradia bi kan na wona na be woja ọjọ́ busuanu ma baba ye de ko nti agya hone jikani ma ko yare
okay all right nana mla wase na amaye de toke agya hone jikani mo okoyele between benyane bale mo betbo to ma babka boboa na ba ko ban you know nana yekoya you know mrade timo ezeke yeja like a cha did mo de baba
edidi baba ejawun edidi baba
okay
mem ka ke edidi mo ene kanene ni duma awon yana na mo won ke ejahun edidi baba sintira ke bible ze po eha ke wore baare ne e wore benyane e wore baare so ehana ne yawun ntimantime wore benyana ko baara so kan na nwa meti nuku eda nuku da ya lebo nti kenya enwo kan vulo be fa e ma da fa e kan anwo meko wo
okay all right so let's say down the dear baba cause bible you know anake you know school mo ya kompa say a cha you know emma anoma akrane you know woye akrane da you know akra satisfy one in terms of you know it's an avenue for sexual satisfaction na say ozodie inya banmola pe the second one the procreation say nyameneze edumowa say nya ngokra wonumo awya ngokra sumu akenyane ebuama you know akra te the bebo you know yeah and woye so betenu the fire you get companionship elane you know ne to ado azro ne ko ye meti ye na ba ye die nu ayenda nana anda ni kokra mo ijuzo mo sebe mo baale be mo yan daily ho me peke che nana na dia hwane ye wo ke idu azumo ene baale be de bo to bo wi na dia hwane ye ske idu azu ansana jawone ya royal mu
yo so de benya na on baala na se apaye wan daily ho keke ama wo maame mmele bebrebe ne ami aseminya ne se wo bala ya taye ne ma mmodi mo nkomotala ya papa mo azosere kokro bala mo so etu edu obenya ba imam keribo mo ko nwa ansana azire pu ya made ya nwe sanke azire me ade bu awudu ire me tebu awudu nti me ga ye berane nyaye made nyaye nwe meti sanwo odu mulka mo keke eche bala ama wawofo beti
okay
meti samo wawofo beti a keke botu mo ejake
okay
okubu biza bale yeja hone mede okiyo hineme ya de ye hede yan bebere because okeme yana na mo ne besi ba zodi be me ne be ye pa
meti mo nde ebka famu akọ
fabo mo meti anwe ze keke akọ mabebuko biza bale ne yeja hone ansana ko biza yeja hone a owie ansana ja hone ze jare zai ya gazo
okay nana ye veke mi ya bale be wo pon ma yin deli mo udo la mo do meze mo babre ko kra be mo ma yin deli na mpeka akoye kimma mo come here wode is that how to go about it lo mo bala no ma da one then be se to ke botu mo jake ye chu awdo kania bale ba awdo kania how do we go about it say ye ke izabale to a awo ya na de wane ye du azo ansa na ya izabale to
nye say e ke izabale to a mem kake mo benyan awon baale ni nti e kama wawofo beti ne badu on mo jake osan ke bi kan azo pikanu kane nyini me ho pikani kane ne ba hoke anaka bokokopo bara hwan bo fodu azo be ma dia boko bi kan ya pikanu kane tutura same ye bedi waka awon pankiri ne ni be ye ekorozo wo ozo abusuan nuwa meti akonka ubopane waka o mame bisa ha aka ne makwa me yaga ya retan ka keka ya mada akoke meti semele apede a mani ya butare ne ye hirade bi esu aka ne esoku o aka ne me edede baba pikani kan me azunjori enku meti se akoke pa amzepu nyan ye made nyan delu nyan delu mo meti ibaza keka wa futu mo jake ku biza bare ya jahone ani ku biza eto ansana jahone za ilele za ya gazo meti e bani zo a yam ka bako ho bakozire azire ejazo ansana azire mo si yama busuan mo kokura zunumen yama ba de ke magai ne ba de hire ebie yazo ni ke peke ni yama de ani ni koboa ansana azire yeribomane yava mo academic ke fama abusu mo benyan obopai ne ba ba yi na ko mmoni ani mo keke bedide ni ba ha ba ka ha bo wi ansana ya madia eja hone ya gazo
okay nana ya veke yo iza bale tuzu yewi awya yo iza yewi mas company and like you veke hano what can more your call
okay ya wodie
and I wodie yele so how do we go about it
so en wodie yele me se azire ye me kora ike madia ikele ika ha inieni mo keke ide azire ika ha inieni mo keke ide mene yo ye as a list keke fakwa ahratazo obi kama me azire minieni mo kam de medame mampaboa menza ne uskwamo kakamide mekamu atin mukwa kratazo na ma won abusuan mo so beni ani mo bi kani a bede
okay
na ma bama hana ma mkrata mo me ye won mte bi kani abusuan mo so ba prinsam bede bi ka 1 cd
okay
anaka 2 cd asana yaga nrire mo ewukwakura mo so edame
okay
maybe say nrire adame
okay
mo so yeke ide na zira mo so yere imieni dame
okay
mekeke kwakura imieni wonko na ke nrire mo so edie mo so yere
wow
meti beka he mo ati boko wonu mo ne na ba mo kwakura benyan ba ma no wari ozo kware ano papa mba ri ozo kware ne ba ri bazike ne ba waze na kun ba ye ba re ne enwodie
wow
meti ozo ajahone edia
wow and there enwodie yele most of the time say in the case mo aye work a is spinning machine work for makeup artist worke ay announcement worke bokwa soliere no masofo yira azuro worke beheze worke ebiempo de me wafa menimo botu camera wafa baba ilike jawone mezeme ya rimuni ske current cars, you know, fleet of cars no bobu anmo akadeke pe don't know nana mpacho mo worke de ne ozo idea
dabi jahun mere ma jahun la ke mo benyan o madama
okay
o papa madama ko ro po ma madama bare mo onwe mo si papa madama e ma madama ye twunwa mo keja vake ozo honi mbamba ni bo mo bo twunwa anu abobo ba mane bare mo si meni mo boho twunwa mo so akokeja e wo numai mo se boba amane abe oku yamba di aja hone ho dasra apart from me de bra ne kedok mo keke beye mentima de kemo kremo ne keke bokuba hai photographer bokuba hai azoni ni me photographer me yaye ke de dasre ire
okay
come on hibe ukokro be ka akodo kan oh mpapa me e woke na de ken na mo akon keke okofa ke spinners ze no bo ye ba ye refreshment omo kaka wole ne omo in fact me e too much
okay
ajan la ke abusuan na abusuan afan be ye be le ajan hone me kiri ajan hone ya na me da me ye me ga ye function
keke wa kokko ani keke ajan hone ye rimu
oh court me dia awofro nhihyerie awofro nhihyerie
okay
mentimo amzi yeche na mama dake mama madam dake papa madam dake mosun bare mosun upapa madam woke o mama madam woke bedu mo da sere mane mo yedi ibake boho mama mane mo dani mbamba ni bohon mo bowoke bare mosun imane me honi mbamba ni bowoke twonavure be opine di desi bowoke namzu mati holi ya wo ya ha ye da sere won menti kwatu aja hunu me edi ame ye kocha edi amamle
okay
edi amamle kresara ye dodo awofre mo ye kwatu
okay all right this is Coastal Morning on West Coast TV. You can join us live on YouTube. We're streaming live there, and I'm also when you're viewer then you can share to your brothers so that they can also have a feel of Coastal Morning on West Coast TV. Meaning nana inja toku ye jinkomo working then they we are looking at marriage in the Ahanta perspective. Nana mama yati asede aware nankasa no oyentase obisia na benin obete won wase de wo betena na wa yekor na wa bobra na wa ko nenim ono enye aware no nana na bi o ma yati asede aware nankasa na se ntikura amanfo wawar ye for yankofa aware nankasa no mba na aware nankasa mpotuma mo ho kwan ma obenyi no besia wo hia wodi mpem agor ma oze yama bebe oze ba ma yeti asere hia besia no na wenu agye no ho no ekofie kɔbɔ wawo fo amene na wawo fo etwanamon wa akɔhwehwɛ besie n'echi mpo sɛ kwanu wo ma ansana we twanamon wa akɔbisa ebusua na ebusua atena fom wa bi wo ho a papa no se swanche tam sa abofra wo no wa swanche wa papa nte bi wa tampo fa bi abofra no na so tampo fa bi na wa atena fom we di nkomo na wo hu mber a wo be hia na wa agya awara no na nda dze a wa beize na coffee ibra binumpo waja laptop ni nyina wo na mebisa no de na court ya wa be me also you know yeah culture. There's a borrowed culture from the white man, cause what we normally do is that's for na kase obedi that's no ma me na chi wo o papa na chi wo o ho kan no so ma me na chi ne papa na chi wo what's for na waiting come eyi ni nkomo amene na nanja toko ya twetwe wa bringing to quickly no ma me bisa na them question yeah I'm the dodo na opada what's no nana ya ware ewie oba kwan ana obesia na obeyin obetima atena na wona asetena wa ya asundwe
ma bokwa ma asundwe ka bentamini ede no hare kekeli baare keli no hare keli benya mo sikiri no hare ikiri baare benya ka bobu kama baare mo sikabo bu ka ba kama ihui
okay
me ma ajahone ke ya jahone ya me kama ajahone ke ya jahone ya ayi me kania mo benya bere ai pala ke ikoho no mikaga na yariye ye ready ikoho no mikaga entare babada me ka ima benya mo sikenya ikenya odo kama baale ya na baala mo biyan yemadia ijawmo na akukojuka ne wale yerepe woye de bebima wo kanene
why a problem yeah
kama biyan maso ilenya odo mo nyane ahyase ne ilenya kabaka yemada kabaka mo ahyase mane botododo ndomi ye bedidi bi wo panu ba yebaga janwo ne twe keke ayedebe mo ba biyan maso enwoke ye jawamba ade baarama ba didiro ho awudo so amba
okay
meti ede okoro yere ne ntiase awo janhunu mu mema bokro boboa bowo okro boboa batidibo nwokura nya dikachina okro batidibo nwokura ma nwokura ma so ban kura ba te bobobla bobobekira mo ase nyina ne ezere ya nti ozo dia
na yaveke yedajahunu tula na se ebi wakenya problem je kenya because bale bi o kenya ya dini ni beto beye so ya de bale to what's the best way to resolve some of these issues
metimo becha beye menimo bedaja hone emada ebi kenya zire za mo ewuru kwakura azire nruma ni idunzie keke medaja hone emada for that moment makaya janho bakaya baare nwode azo sura baare mosi madama moso bi ko duun kezi keke idaja hone emada meti se baare ya dini ni betu a keke ifatu ajake ekobo imame imadam bodaja hone emada anake papa invake mame madam anake papa mai ikitu ajake ko bo amane be ko mehui de mo ele ya mede
okay
na azweni mosu yadu ajake ya won benyan imadam an me ni daja hone wen ivake iri aja hone imada for dasre mosu ya wa amane ekwa bo amane ya bazaba anwe anakabade anwo anakasa ibudubo mbezirikania keke bafubeti bobonu boko benyake bane ko boaze ko oyi complain mo eva gade ni be hira bozovu ma azunjori e madia eya eni kamo bare ya afa force fa ko benyan e madama sadia
okay
afa ko kania ni ke do umeni mo ba yiri bibizeli ajanwo mada ni ke do bogo nti baza elefa azunjori e ke madia e ka bakara meti me ho kanene ye bazamo sumo fa baby sizi agya hone imada ase da se de ke be hira agya hone ke kwọbo se le kwọbo be hira ba so nya bafazo butubom be sikania ikoju mulke bene ne bo hwemo wo numo se benya poetry baale badia ikọ amane a badi ejoko ikodu agya ka okone anpe ni sa ya pa complain suma mo ya pa zomo bi kan benya so tede ozo su da se baare mo so tede benya ne benya tu ozo agya ka ya akonya ne bazamba da agya hono mada ne ba sake ba ya mada batindende ibaza ya va agya hone ni mo ayi fa mada ifa ba meti ya ameso mo ye china agya hone mada ya ameso ye kran ye ma zo problem se kura ya mada ekura eba so juko jikin fivi make kan ki clear sovone baare pu ba wa amane a ne yadu ya adwunu nu se binya so ba amane a ne yadu ya adwunu nti baza ne ke baza ba anwe ye bo madia bo benya mo ke bokwa ne ka so ye madia ebazo
okay all right nana and ame yamre de 30 minutes la meti mamlawase nda wone bo joko vamamo avaga yene ndema education it was baba there was bebre na yakobo menene na de joko aka akere minimum bazmo be share to me because becha what are your final words to them
mam kan la ke se ibani agya hone a ye di abotare ye du tonwa ye kofa agya ye kofa baale anke ye kofa agya hone ye de daji kama mamba ni zi anke so kun adadajo kun doduwa ankunu aya meti mam kan la ke amiemo anke imeli mamo belinyanu bele chare mam botu tonwa wa agya hone bele laji na agya hone badu tonwa bokofa agya hone otu tonwa kofa ala webo mo me nya botare ne huhuanu na otu mo jaka baba e ma waja hone keka obera e madia ala no nti ajikimo wo fama minimum mo mazumo obadu aja hone
okay all right ana malawa asba before mo akojoju ne medem de ke tamoni akọ school ne to yire ba ya ba mawane a last day me ya frey awade ya them they care our experience be and our fond memory am here we dey we account so share cause of time o ma me yale special ale event mo ava school akwa be okay na no ho ma na ka ozanko ahia ho wan corner near Diwali and our fond memories of such stuff here sakrani cha
yo me last dikamo kan ame ya belozume ebane koropo nso he ya me bobobo nti mozo kiri ari ko yo mo boko wo boko wie boko wo ne na ko ari ka kuma wo gbare ne we de mo e woke ba na me edizo na me say di ari wie bo wi a wo de bura ho report card metime otu awdo na se opopo kira na wa pass ya na o first meme say bobobo wo school kene mo do atewo wazunu mitinye e baza ne keke wali mu ri e waye de bebu e wo kene say wa pass ya ne wali enyani panka buri gware because okwa wo dey zike say ko de maka na name edizo the bela by amendment won monti name yala ne wo dikabu mofu wura report card first so report card work ba me sebo bobo school kene ma awon wanzo ba name ba yezo
na say our day about Juzea like the feeling e get this first in Thursday bela but he say ozomri badua like feelings in get this
oh so badua ima amazi school memo tin ye develop because ya ke ye school nko meti ozo meremo ye re ba udi me ni ye develop ye oye ngokura de me ozo re amazi motin ye dia me nke ye frako ka ye ko ikiri ya ho magiko wo awudo ka ye ko wo ye ma mo na ade meti the more it was America. I'm the more thing I did. But I come say, Baya war day and a care, yeah, more school one year. Yeah, I'm the more thing I did.
Okay. All right, Anna. I met Yelawasibe break. I worry my yearly in the Jumadina. Say, I'm leaving on a Kizili. Na ikake amiadu mi next week see kra se the kizrebe anake veke bombo ni be ekwo awudo yele a mradie nhyehyele ya let's join us next week when Nanja Toku Bebo as na say yedi komo okay nana bana wase bebre ke a join yema nde never show you what ever yele level of my watching. Let me say, I'm little na iyo kiziri working.
Yo, I'm sure you'll ask it. Mizema, Mom Bloom will marry a continue. I must work. Continue. Mizema, I'm in a year. You wear one bunny.
Okay.
Never yams bed. If I were, you must wear division cancer.
Okay.
I'm in a year.
Okay.
Mizema, you must wear division cancer with my team.
Okay.
Mizema, be so bunny. So bunny been too.
Okay.
And buy him a bottle.
Okay.
I'm year more team. Damn to money more team.
Okay.
I'm year.
Okay. All right. And Nanja Toku na tena kana ebe busi pain bintu ne didn't attach wa aguna kwanta pa. Be here bantu me. The great man wa enda ke pa mkala biela ase ke baabo walema ya vale show ya vaya nda wane wo Coastal Morning with WestCoast TV. Thank you for joining. And I want to share to you know ye living como bebre easily ke your fondest memory in our day in many pin really bargaining what you wanna join our home. Then we came to look at issues in the newspaper. We spoke about you know the newspaper, the issues you know surrounding, and Bentum came in to delve in deeper into some of you know the major highlights of yesterday's budget review. And after that, Nanja Toku joined us this morning to discuss marriage in Ahanta. I said good afternoon to you, and this is Coastal Morning, same time Monday. Let's have a great discussion. But quick one, 26th will be the candle night. You know, of the whole Ahanta. We'll be lighting our candle at exactly, I think, at 6 p.m., 6 to 7 p.m. within that period. You see Queen Mother Asafo Acheweba of Pokesu, Angelic McKay, has posted his flyer, and we'll be doing that in the Bahamas. So let's all come together and join hands and remember our great ancestors and the heroes who fought for us. Good afternoon and have a wonderful day.